Good morning, one and all. Self-reliant, self-sufficient, and self-supporting India is a dream every Indian should have. Abdul Kalam rightly said, individual or nation, self-respect comes with self-reliance. Our topic for today's English elocution visualizes such a status for our nation. The topic is Vocal for Local is the best form of advertisement, and the coordinating school is DAV Public School, LNT Kansbahal. I'm sure today that all of us are waiting for an energetic session of elocution, that is English, Hindi and Odia. Now, we are waiting for our judges to come to the venue. As soon as our judges reach, we will start with our elocution and the first event. Over to DAV Public School, LNT Kansbahal.
Thank you, ma'am. Topic number 1. Are you ready?
Yes. There is a famous saying, doing business without advertising is like winking in the dark. You know what you are doing, but others don't. So advertisement is essential to update, to attract the customers and to increase oneself. Good morning to you all, honorable jury members, esteemed observers and other dignitaries and my dear participant friends. I want to express my views on today's elocution. Vocal for local is the best form of advertisement. First of all, I want to focus on why vocal for local is the best form, why it should become the mantra for every Indian, why it should be our mindset. Because it is important to create visibility for local business and encourage them to come to the front line. My dear friends, there are innumerable benefits of raising voice for local to find a suitable place in the globe. It fulfills multifaceted objectives. It will increase local self-revenue, make people self-independent, invigorate self-confidence. It will help to increase employment, to boost skills, build social bonds, instill patriotism and flourish farming and accelerate industries to reach to the global market. Above all, vocal for local plays a pivotal role in the rise of economic development of our country. It is needless to say, this is an inspiring, motivating and empowering campaign and a calculated step of our Honorable Prime Minister to not only fight against the deadly coronavirus, but also prepare ourselves to face any adverse situation in future. Once Gandhiji said, my nationalism is as broad as my Swadeshi. I want India to rise so that the whole world may benefit. Now tell me, how will India rise without the rise of local? And how will local be global without being vocal? So we have to be vocal for local by putting food on their table. Now the question is, how can we make vocal for local as the best form of advertisement? I saw Vidya Balan wearing Sambalpuri sari for the promotion of the movie Sakuntala Devi. She could have worn a designer sari made by the foreigner or diamond embedded in it. But no, she took the pride of our local weaver. All of you know how Indian greeting of Namaste is followed by the global leaders. This pandemic has reminded us the great saying, necessity is the mother of invention. And in this crisis, our local manufacturers are fulfilling all our demand with their local products. So, I think it is high time to proudly promote our local products with all our abilities, confidence and potential. Instead of depending on other countries, let's invent, create, make, produce and manufacture on our own. Let's spread the fragrance of agarbatti prepared by Indians all over the world. Let's embellish the whole world with Indian diyas, painting, terracottas, etc. Let's protect the people from the virus with our handmade masks and sanitizers. So friends, with the motto of Stand Up India and Start Up India, let's join our hands together for a self-sufficient, self-reliant India once again, how it was earlier in the golden era. We must resolve towards Atmanirbhar Bharat mission by empowering our economy, system, vibrant democracy and demand. like Parle-G, Raymond, MDH Masala, Amul, Mahindra, etc., we can earn global recognition for our local brands and appreciating them and flourishing them in the global market. Let the whole world know about our capacity, creativity, and skills. At last, I want to conclude my speech by appealing all of you to be strong vocal for local, and it is to be perceived by all, then only we can serve other nation. What you can do, we Indians can do better. Thank you.
Thank you, token number one. So that was a wonderful presentation. Now it's time for token number two.
It is needless to say, misfortune never comes alone. But how can we deny this fact? Fortune favors the brave. Good morning, everybody. Present over here, esteemed jury members, respected teachers, my dear fellow participants, and respected audience all around. I am token number two, extending my deep sense of gratitude for giving me this opportunity to be the part of this online intellectual galaxy to share my idea on the topic Vocal for Local is the best form of advertisement. Vocal for Local is a concept which dates back to the era of the Swadeshi movement, which started in 1905 as part of the Indian independence movement. As an economic strategy, it helped develop Indian nationalism at the time. Now question arises, why should we go vocal for local? In the present juncture, the drastic effect of pandemic situation, it is important to step up and do everything we can come forward to revive Indian economy. The best way to do this is by being completely self-reliant and calling for a new form of globalization. So there is a heavy call for creating more jobs, transform business processes, and strengthen efficiency. In this connection, Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi, while addressing to the nation, he said the COVID-19 crisis has taught India the importance of local manufacturing and productive efficiency. It is time to be vocal about local. He emphasized on the concept of Atmanirbharta, that is self-reliance, and announced a rupees of 20 lakh crore package. So it is high time to start economic policies that produce welfare, sustainable incomes, help job creation, and only earn faith in the people. When the universal concept of globalization is the main concern today, a question may arise in the minds of my fellow listener. By being vocal for local, are we rejecting globalization? The answer is no. I mean, we are not rejecting globalization, but calling for a new form of it. Self-reliance is a new vision for India. It is neither in exclusion nor in isolation. Local has helped us through this crisis and helped us survive. So, for an economically independent India, we need to create products and services that are made in India, made for Indians, and also made for the world. There is another fact to be noted. In the past 3 decades, India has built for medieval strength in brainpower dominated sectors like IT and ITES, BPOs, and several other industries which provide large number of jobs to educated youth. So what should be our motto? Our motto is to refocus our strategy from being profit driven to becoming more people centric. So let's keep the slogan and act accordingly. Be Indian, love Indians. Don't just purchase, but promote most in every stage. Friends, our homegrown products should not just be purchased, but to actively promoted and marketed. That is to improve supply chain across country and boost the economy. So I request my conscious audience to come forward, join hands, and lay stress on this call. Vocal for local is the best form of advertisement. Be optimistic, socialist, and nationalist. That's all. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Token number two, the thoughts are very beautiful. Now I invite token number three.
Good morning to you all. If you buy local and be vocal for the local, you will be playing your role in strengthening the country, says Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi in his Mann Ki Baat. Namaskar, distinguished jury of this English elocution contest, esteemed Arisa, respected principals, teachers, worthy participants of the event, and all the online audience. Today, on this ignited platform of Spandan 2020, I feel privileged to speak speak on such a topic that has paramount significance in building up a self-reliant India, and that is vocal for local is the best form of advertisement. And this slogan not only invokes the people of India to let their support for locals in promoting indigenous products, but it also imbibes the spirit of Indianness to fight any challenges altogether in future. While 70% of India's economy constitutes a family-run business, and many of our own homegrown brands are occupying spaces in the global markets. So a lot more to be done in the field of export gathering momentum through advertisement. The decibel, vocal for local, shall definitely break the alluring voices of the foreign products and their increasing chains of marketing, creating a sense of rationalistic flavor and love for our own products with dignity and respect. No doubt, this best form of ad, no doubt, the COVID pandemic has ushered a new era of opportunities for locals as consumers are no longer venturing into malls and shopping complexes. Moreover, there has been a deep rooted conviction that they should only help themselves. During such crisis, rebellion in strengthening their local bonds of marketing and consumerism, which is cost effective, safe, and time saving. Here I must clarify that the local brands are not confined to agro-based products and artifacts of cottage industries rather than indigenous scientific and technological advancement that our country has developed on its own. Besides the huge production of cotton industries, heavy industries, pharmaceutical sectors, we are proud of Agni series missiles with fully indigenous engines and technological support. With this slogan, Vocal for Local, of our visionary Prime Minister, we have to reach out many relevant areas for getting its desired outcomes. Therefore, the local media, vernacular language press, social media, and digital platform must carry forward the clarion call vocal for local in true spirits and actions that will not only be a fundamental shift of consumers' behavior but also brings a revolution in the larger interest of the country. No doubt, this best form of ad breeds a sense of ownership and fills our heart with passion and commitment. Before winding up my speech, I should not forget to proudly say that सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा जय हिंद नमस्कार.
Thank you, token number 3. That was indeed a true spirit. Now I invite token number 4.
And
Great historical progress always happen after major disasters. Good morning, everyone. Vocal for Local has been the latest trending slogan which has emerged during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, the idea behind this movement is not new. It finds its roots in the one and only Swadeshi movement, which was popularized in 1905 during India's independence struggle. Developed and promoted by Mahatma Gandhi and many other great freedom fighters. Swadeshi was conceived as a way to imbibe nationalism and nationalistic pride among Indians. Our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi addressed the nation about the importance of local manufacturing and product efficiency in the COVID-19 crisis. Coining the phrase vocal for local, he asserted that it's the need of the hour of the nation to come together and encourage the local businesses. The khadi and the village industries has successfully transitioned from local to global and can be the best example for all the enterprises. But the basic meaning of being vocal for local is to use local, make local and promote local products. This efficiency will provide employment to many people and the local market will grow. They will progress so high that they will export their famous products all across the country. The positive effect of being vocal for local has been seen during the Diwali festival season, where people purchase local made diyas, lights, etc. instead of foreign products. This small initiative will strengthen the local market as well as help the economy of the country to grow. By being vocal for local, we We aren't rejecting globalization, but calling for a new form of it. By improving our product efficiency and local manufacturing, we can compete with the world as well as help the world. For example, when there was an insufficient supply of PPE kits, masks, and hand sanitizers, many textile industries had to close due to COVID-19. But even during these tough times, India didn't lose their hope. They started making PPE kits and masks, and today India makes 4.5 lakh kits per day and has become world's second largest country to produce PPE kits and masks. All this has happened during the crisis situation. Sounds impossible, but it's true. Necessity is the mother of invention, or in this situation, scarcity is the mother of invention. When India was scrambling to get enough hand sanitizers, a tribal woman from Chhattisgarh used mahua flower, which is used to make local liquor, used this flower to make the base of the hand sanitizer. This tribal woman understood the real meaning of vocal for local and saved many lives. This shows that necessity comes before practicality. We have to refocus our strategies from being more profit-driven to more people-centric. We live in a country where government is encouraging scientists to make vaccines. More than 20 labs are working on it, and so some of the vaccines are on the third stage of the trial. We can hope that we can get our Swadeshi vaccines really soon. Some critique this campaign as taking a step back from globalization. However, it is not so. In a highly globalized world like ours, India has asserted its presence. By improving our local manufacturing, we can help the world. We can compete with the world. At last, I want to say that history is a proof that when a country hits its rock bottom, it's the people who bring it back to the life. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.
That was a nice presentation by token number 4. Yes, vocal for local is indeed the need of the hour. Now I request token number 5 to present.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you, ma'am. We heard made in China, we used made in America, and we liked made in Indonesia. But now the need of the hour is to use made in India, and made in India. A very fine and cheerful good morning, revered jury members and my co-participants. Today, I want to express my views or opinions on the given statement, vocal for local is the best form of advertisement. As we all know that the pro-COVID-19 period decelerated our Indian GDP and economy, as a result of which now we have to adopt the Modian technique, which is vocal for local to restore our GDP and economy. I can state the example of the post-liberalized era where our country witnessed with a free flow of goods and services, whereas the electronic and print media, they both were in the praise of alien finishing goods. As a result of which, the Indian consumers as well as buyers, they stopped buying Indian products. Rather than that, they shifted their mind onto all those foreign products of USA, Japan, and China. And with this, the thought of vocal goes in vain, every local product in my vein. Bonvita cannot substitute mother's milk. No foreign product in my wink. We all must adopt our Indian products and we all must be busy in advertising or promoting our own Indian products. Like Patanjali, Tata Motors, Micromax, they all are the products which can help our India in vigorizing its economic growth. I can state the best example of Japan. Japan stopped using every American product since an atomic bomb was dropped into their country by America. And now we have the example that Japan applied vocal for local in their own country, as a result of which now Japan is considered as one of the rich countries of the world. And technologically too, that country is very fast. The reason is simple, because that country applied vocal for local and stopped importing. And now Japan is also one of the best exporter of everything. I can state the example of China. China is not using YouTube. China has its own website, so that the money they are spending in each and everything, that money is just staying in their own country. That money is not going to anyone's other country. The best example is Facebook too. We can state that Mark Zuckerberg is not an Indian person who developed or he made the application Facebook. Still, we are downloading Facebook, we are using Facebook, because of which we are not getting any money. But Mark Zuckerberg is getting richer day by day. I should state the example of Russia and India. There was a time when in Russian countries Indian products had a greater demand. But now in today's world, none of the country in Russia is using our Indian products. There was a time when Beijing and Mumbai were compared with each other. But now we have the time when Beijing is somewhere else and Mumbai is somewhere else. We are lacking just because they are not advertising our own country's product. Why we are spending money in advertising any other country's product, rather than that we can spend a lot of money in advertising our own country's product. I would also state that by this way, we all will not be against the spirit of globalization or liberalization. Rather than that, we are going to inspire hundreds of other countries who are pressurized by these economic giants like USA, Japan, and China. I can state that the industrial fatness of India has been reduced just because of these foreign companies which are placed in USA, Japan, and China. Indian products also have a great demand, but the brand named Made in India will attract the public more and more. The attraction of public will lead our India into a great position one day. And that position will help us, our country, to get its name also in those economic giant countries. We will be the largest exporter of each and everything one day if we stop importing our products from other countries. I would like to end by saying,
Yes,
love
yes.
for Swadeshi, forbid the Videshi. Add self-sufficiency, accelerate economic vibrancy. Vocal for local is not just a prophecy. Make Made in India.
Now I invite token number 6.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, am I clearly audible and visible?
Clearly audible, child.
Yes, ma'am. Rise, brothers, rise. The awakening sky rays to the morning light. The wind lies asleep in the arms of dawn like a child that has cried all night. A very good morning to everyone. Revered judges, honorable dignitaries, respected teachers, and all my worthy brothers and sisters. It is my pleasure to keep my views in front of you all on the relevant topic. Vocal for local is the best form of advertisement. India is the land of mountains and fountains, pools and parks, lakes and lagoons, sages and saints, Gandhis and Gokhales, myth and mystery, flora and fauna. It is the land of towering temples, captivating culture, dazzling diversity of languages, landscapes, and foodscapes. It is incredible, incredible, incredible. If literature is the mirror of the society, science is the innovation of the society, a slogan is the dire need of the society. What is special in the slogan under discussion today is that I can smell the sacred soils of my motherland. I can see the smiles on the faces of half-clad and half-fed people, and a sun rising and spreading bright future and beautiful present. The clarion call has reached, touched, and started transforming our lives, hopes, and aspirations. Then it depends on us whether to swim or sink. COVID-19 pandemic has created a pandemonium, home and abroad. It has created a precarious situation for all of us that is perfectly topsy-turvy, hanging our hopes upside down. It made us realize how much self-sufficient we are, given the fact that the road to China was choked by corona. In this alarming and dangerous situation, a resounding sound, vocal for local, echoes strongly and significantly. But now the question is, why should we go for vocal for local? Because it is the crying need of the hour that is perhaps out of joint. We don't know when this corona, the uninvited, unwanted guest will say us goodbye. Though for some time we have to live with corona. Vocal for local will make us, our people, self-independent, self-reliant, and self-sufficient. Moreover, this instrumental step will strengthen our economy, enlighten our people to stand on their own legs and widen the scopes of job opportunities. India is one of the most promising economies in the world with the largest consumer market fueled by the rising middle class.
Our dream to be a superpower depends on how we are going to carry forward our economic activities facing the challenging COVID situation. The world certainly moves before the nation, which is economically strong enough. In the words of Mrs. Indira Gandhi, a nation's strength ultimately consists in what it can do on its own and not in what it can borrow from others. India is a land of young people and ours is a vibrant democracy. We are the largest domestic market in the world. Our local products will be sold easily. Only thing is that we have to highlight. Unless we highlight, nothing will come to limelight. Moving forward, the Prime Minister's call for vocal for local is proving to be a great initiative for the national brands and will help the Indian economy revive. The recent Boycott China movement is helping the Indian market and is evoking patriotism. Huge employment opportunities are on the angle, and that will change the face of India and add $1 million smiles to her face. The whole nation will thrive with economic activities, and the rest has to be history. To make things better, don't think, just make one thing. Vocal for local is what we say. For economic growth, that's the way. Thank you all for your patient listening. Jai Hind.
That was a nice presentation.
Hello.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. You have finished on time. YouTube viewers, you are watching live streaming of Spandan 2020. Now it's the turn of token number 7.
Mark Zuckerberg, the second-year student at Harvard, had met his website Facebook to connect university students. Hardly did he know that it was going to be a global brand of media. That's a classic example of global going global, because all global brands were once global. Have a very good morning to all, respected jury members, teachers, and fellow participants. During the COVID-induced joblessness, a 24-second young man from Remuna, Baleshwar, thought of setting up a demand supply chain around farm fresh vegetables grown locally using his WhatsApp account. The door-to-door service wasn't rocking when the pandemic had brought everything to a standstill. The one-man enterprise is operating in a wider area with larger customer base, thanks to positive soundbites about quality product, customer satisfaction, and a bit of technology. It led to more manufacturing, infrastructure development, employment opportunities, and more works. That's how a local brand grows when users turn local. Yes, eat local, wear local, consume everything local has been the consumption until lately. The pandemic was a godsend for this trend to catch up. The practical wisdom behind embracing this Swadeshi movement is its economic perspective. India has its unique brands, big business minds, and a huge market. Being vocal for local will have a trigger effect, helping the domestic products grow and develop to be at par with global standards to stand up against the deep marketing budgets of corporate houses. The bamboo toothbrushes of Tripura, pickles of Telangana, saris of Sambalpur, ethnic work of Pipali have brand value and ethnic flavor. Wearables, home decors, handicrafts of India can be global brands too, when local people turn catalysts. Amul and Thali have become the international names. Local brands must evolve themselves without compromising the basic nature. With all honesty, we must work on changing market demands, strategic modification, skill enhancement, quality, and competitive price. The new India talks on social media. Being vocal for local cannot exist without digital interface. Digital marketing is the go of new age. Baba can have become the talking point of the nation overnight. So local brands must evolve themselves without compromising the basic nature. Agribazaar, Mukari, Yellow, Oyo are more success stories. Producing a Facebook page highlighting positive responses or creating a content for with a vocal for local. Similar is the case in many sectors like steel, plastic, etc. It's time we had a rethink, and the government has come up with a big push for domestic manufacturing. FMCG is the poster child of this movement. The trend is an undercurrent fast matching with the mainstream. Let's join the bandwagon along with the whole trend. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, token number 7. So that was a very sincere effort. Now I invite token number 8. You may start.
Man's fate is written more in trials and tribulations and less in rewards. It is the human psyche which finds an opportunity in every adversity or an adversity in every opportunity. Good morning, respected jury and my dear friends. At a time when the micro-predator corona has unleashed a dance of death across the globe, boundaries are closed, lockdown and shutdown have become the new mantra of survival. India plans to convert this crisis into an opportunity. During his address to the nation on May 12, 2020 and subsequently on Independence Day, our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi gave a clarion call to the nation to give a boost to the crisis-ridden economy by being vocal for local and strengthen our fight by becoming self-reliant or Atmanirbhar. He also stressed upon the fact that it is time to be vocal for our local products and make them global. Countries like China, Japan, and USA have become the developed nation today because they are vocal for their local products and made them global. If they could do it without sufficient manpower and mineral resources, why not we? The concept vocal for local dates back to the era Swadeshi movement, which was started in the year 1905 as a weapon of the Indian national movement and was spearheaded by the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. It was an economic strategy that helped develop the Indian nationalism at that time. Again, in 1950s and 60s, we saw a liberalization of economy when globalization became the new mantra. This led to the influx of FDI and big investment of multinational companies and corporate houses, which made the economy
startup India, Modi, yes, Modi. Our Modi na ही नहीं है.
Costed it drastically.
Please
Lowest in
put your system.
China, Japan, and USA combinedly account for 48% of manufacturing sector and occupy the center stage of global market. India's share is only a meager 3%. The proportion of formally skilled labor in India is extremely low at 4.69% of total workforce. The Prime Minister's urge to go vocal for local has motivated great manufacturers to promote local industries and curb down the imports of machinery and raw materials. Khadi and Gramodyar, which enjoys worldwide popularity, is a case study for other industries. Indian handicrafts can rule over the global market if they are advertised properly. By being vocal for local, we are not rejecting globalization, but waiting for a new form of globalization which is neither exclusionary nor isolationist. Big multinational companies like Hindustan Liver, Procter & Gamble, and many others are ruling over Indian markets. With vast population, mineral resources, and good market, we can foresee the flourishing of Indian industries and Indian handicrafts only if we popularize the slogan vocal for local. For an economically independent India, we need to create products and services which are made in India, made for India and the world. Home grown products should not only be purchased but actively promoted. This will be the best form of advertisement. It will not only strengthen the local identity but instill a sense of pride and thrill of success among the minds of multitude Indians. Then only Gandhiji's dream can be fruition. Finally, before I conclude my speech, I entreat you that hand in hand, let's go forward. There is no point in looking backward. Togetherness sustains forever, it propels all endeavor. With this note of optimism, I'm shining off. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, token number 8. Why the presentation is going on. Now I call I call token number 9. Yes, you're visible. Are you ready?
No?
Yes, you're audible. Yes, ready?
Yes. There's a saying that stopping advertising to save money is just like stopping watch to save time. And with this saying, a very warm good morning to everybody. Respected judges, esteemed regional officer, principals of different schools, all my teachers, and all the observers of the day. I feel proud and privileged to express my point of view on the topic vocal for local is the best form of advertisement in this virtual platform, Spandan. So, especially focusing on the topic, India has created a renaissance in front of the world. Emphasizing on a self-reliant or Atmanirbhar India, the government has asked that products not just to be made in India, but also for the promotion of local brands, manufacturing and supply chain. I may take the example of Dabur India Limited, which has been highlighted for 135 years old of old heritage of caring for every Indian household's health and well-being. Another product, Amul, the taste of India, launched in 1950s, is still remained with the people forever. And the government is also giving 5% GST on Ayurvedic products like hair oil, toothpaste, Chamanprash, edible oil, etc. And the product of Patanjali is also quite admirable by the budding generation at present. Haldiram's is the burning example in this regards. And Haldiram's revenue at 3,500 crore is even more than the combined revenues of McDonald's and Domino's. We can get a McDonald's burger at 50 rupees, but can barely get anything for that same money at Haldiram. So our Prime Minister's vocal for local and local for global mantra has also brought up the significance of our local brands to have a global presence. And India is the biggest and the fastest growing market in the world for the majority of the product categories. So our government is fully trying to make India a self-dependent country in every sector. But it will take quite a lot of time for India to become a self-reliant one. For example, the manufacturing of Chinese products is being banned. And gradually, our country will be called as an Atmanirbhar Bharat one day. And so one such policy is Make in India policy. It's an initiative by the Government of India launched by Shri Narendra Modi on 25th September 2014 to encourage companies to manufacture in India and incentivize dedicated investments into manufacturing. And through this program, the government is supporting and helping the local and state-run businesses to prosper. And this pandemic situation is a blessing in disguise. I may say that it is a boon, not a bane, although it has closed one door, but has opened many doors to lead India into progress. And at present, there are plenty of small businesses which struggle a lot to stand up to big multinational conglomerations because they do not have enough to push and promote their products on the big platforms that have been already taken away. And vocal for local is a great way to support the small firm to move up and do better. And vocal for local has also created new job opportunities. In this tough time, it revives our Indian economy for crisis management. And by promoting local, we keep products affordable by cutting down the high cost of the advertisement. And do you think one prime minister or a group of ministers can do everything? No, not at all. It needs our support and wholeheartedness for the clarion call vocal for local. We students can also be a big supporting hand to bring a drastic change in our country. And with this, I come to the conclusion by chanting a sloka. Utsaham saha sangharya Uddhi shakti parakramah Shadete yatra tishtamti Tatra devah sahayakah. It means that when we are doing any noble work with a lot of courage, patience, presence of mind, physical and mental state of mind, with finance and the mental strength and ability, then we will definitely get success if we have the 6 qualities within us. Even God comes to help us. So thank you and a spectacular day ahead. At last, go local, for local. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Yes, that was a brilliant performance. Now it's the turn of token number 10.
Namaskar everyone. Every citizen of the country has resolved to turn this crisis into an opportunity, and we have to make this a major turning point for this nation. And what is that turning point? Yes, the turning point is none other than a self-reliant India. Atmanirbhar Bharat. Honorable Regional Officer, revered jury members, esteemed principals, respected dignitaries, and my dear participant friends. On this grand virtual platform, I feel privileged to ventilate my views on the very broad and significant topic. Vocal for local is the best form of advertisement. COVID 19 has brought many countries to an unexpected fork in their development. We all know that the whole world has been the victim of COVID 19 pandemic. It has completely damaged the socio-economic fabric of world over last 10 months. Our India, the second largest populated country, is fighting with its limited resources. All the key factors like hospitality, tourism, transport, agriculture all have slumped down, and GDP, it is expected to remain negative for the whole year. So in this juncture, COVID-19 crisis has touched India. The importance of local manufacturing and supply chains. It is the time to be vocal about local. Our Indian Prime Minister, esteemed Narendra Modi, has talked about the importance of Atmanirbharta, self-reliance, and announced a rupees 20 lakh crore package. Vocal for Local is a campaign to motivate people to support and use domestic products and services. To become vocal for local is not only the need of the time, but our responsibility too. Local manufacturing, marketing, and consuming are the kind of self-help during any crisis. The best examples are Indian khadi, neem, biofertilizer, sambalpuri clothes, and what not. The successful implementation of Vocal for Local will definitely fulfill all these activities. Number one, with the help of the top investors, the country will become completely self-dependent in manufacturing sector. Number two, to ensure solid growth and valuable employment creation in the country. Number three, it will definitely help in the growth of Indian GDP as well as to increase the value of Indian currency. But we should keep 5 things in our mind. What are those 5 things? Those 5 things are brand localization, understanding the demographics, adapting preferences, the language, and in the end, price matters. Call for using local goods is not about pleasing anyone. It is the time we revive local industries from Kanchipuram saris to Made in India PPE masks. The campaign Be Indian and Buy Indian will encourage all Indians to buy Made in India products. The campaign will also encourage the citizens to look for the Made in India tags, just as they check the manufacturing date and MRP of items before buying any product. So, we should be vocal for local, not only in economic forum, but also on issues like population growth, environmental pollution, corruption, illiteracy, women education, women empowerment, etc. So to me, vocal for local is the call of the time and best means of advertisement to stand India as Vishwaguru in 21st century. So I would like to appeal everyone, go local, trust local, be local and buy local. Thank you everyone for your patient listening.
Thank you, token number 10.
11 को करना ठीक है.
Thank you, token number 10. That was a beautiful presentation. Now, it's the turn of token number 11.
Hello.
Token number 11.
बटन होस्ट करियो तुम.
In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity. Good morning to one and all present over here on this virtual platform of Spandan 2020. Esteemed RO, revered jury members, honorable dignitaries, and my dear friends. On this gala occasion of Spandan 2020, on this platform, I feel fortunate enough to share my insight concern to how vocal for local is known as the best form of advertisement. Vocal for local, which is a latest and trending slogan, emerged during the COVID-19 pandemic, which means taking a calculated step and claiming position for India in global power order. The mindset of free India should be vocal for
You are muted. You are muted. You are not audible.
Should I start now?
Yes, start.
In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity. Good morning to one and all present over here on this virtual platform of Spandan 2020. Esteemed ROSO, revered jury members, honorable dignitaries, and my dear friends. On this gala occasion of Spandan 2020, on this platform, I feel fortunate enough to share my insight concern to how vocal for local is known as the best form of advertisement. Vocal for local, which is the latest and trending slogan emerged in the COVID-19 pandemic, which means taking a calculated step and claiming position for India in global power order. The mindset of free India should be vocal for local, which is appreciating our local products. It is surprising for all of us that people of the present generation are too much inclined to made in foreign. The products made in our neighborhood, along with good qualities and a trademark of a tradition, are not accepted by the youth of the present days. However, there are some products which are made in India with Indian technology. For example, Amul, Ruchi, Dabur, Patanjali, etc. But people still run after products made in foreign and outshine themselves for the use of imported products. Due to this, the economy of our country, India, is discouraged, and unknowingly, the economy of foreign countries are encouraged. Suppose there's a person in a neighborhood who cooks fast food, but we won't buy that from him as we see him every day, but buy the same thing from a decorative shop or a supermarket, even if it's unhealthy or unhygienic. Now, during the difficulties of adversities in the recent time, when the entire world was gasping for air due to COVID-19 pandemic, our honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, delivered a potent speech in which he announced an 20 lakh crore economic stimulus package and a vision for self-sufficient or Atmanirbhar India. This dream slowly turned to pledge for people. Atmanirbhar Bharat turned into mantra for 130 crore of Indians today. Made in India, made for world is a logo that should be followed, said PM Modi. However, all these things are not new for us as its roots go down to Swadeshi movement that was popularized in the year 1905 during the India independence struggle. It was developed and promoted by Mahatma Gandhi and other freedom fighters. Swadeshi conceived in the imbibe of nationalism and nationalistic pride among the Indians. Now here, the question arises, why India needs to be vocal for local? If the COVID pandemic taught us anything, then it is this, that we should make sure to meet our own demands of our products as the countries are closing down their borders and consolidating inventories. During such a crisis, our responsibility to appreciate our local products. Because if we don't do this, then they will not get opportunity or get encouraged to do better. For example, job opportunities. As Albert Einstein said, in the midst of every crisis lies great opportunities. This time around, the PM Modi government grabbed the right time for bringing forth such a movement in which India will be open about the profit of supporting their fellow countrymen and domestic industries, especially MSMEs. Now, there was a movement led by the US known as the Boycott China movement, which in fractions of more and more countries to follow the suit. India too is one of them. They participated in this movement and rethink about a plan of 5G tender, as well as impose a ban on Chinese apps, China-made phones, and other products. How do Made in India work? The Indian government asks the local companies to focus on the Made in India tag. For instance, FMCG, also known as fast moving consumer goods, which is particularly an Indian food brand. They also said to focus on the tag or more photo, that is vocal for local, which is localization of people nowadays. ITC group of companies is a group of companies that invested extensively on the development of portfolio of local Indian brands. They've also created 25 creations to scratch. Another example of such kind of company is Dabur, which has released a series of advertisement and special videos for vocal for local in our country. The last but not the least, I would like to say we should follow the Indian campaign, Be Indian, Buy Indian, so that it will encourage the people to buy Made in India products. Also, it will influence them to look for Made in India tag as a look for manufacturing date and MRP tag before buying them. If we follow this simple principle, it will make our country economically developed and self-reliant. Thank you and have a nice day.
The time is out. That was a confident presentation. Thank you, token number 11. Token number 12, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Token number is not visible. Come a little closer. Token number 12. The token number, yes. Yes, you can start now.
India, our motherland, is the cradle of creativity, invention, and talent. With a dominant youth population, we can be a hub for startups and enterprises that contribute making in the world a better place to live in. We can give new ideas that could praise the India and her people strong. self-sufficient and self-reliant. And this is possible if we make the imported brand-based products with the native worth. We should support the local businesses and be vocal about it. So we can exist and the other about this existence and attract more support. Esteemed jury members, galaxy of intellectuals, and all my friends, I welcome to all of you and in this visual Spandan speech competition. Today I am glad to share my views and insights on the topic. Vocal for local is the best form of advertisement. Former Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao had unleashed the India growth story, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee gave the country's infrastructure push. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's latest slogan, "Be vocal about local," is built on the both reform agenda of Narasimha Rao and Atal Bihari Vajpayee's infrastructure promise. Infrastructure promise and to address a serious weakness in the India growth story, the low share of manufacturing in the country's GDP. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is prepared to bring back the Swadeshi movement in a modern yet reformative way. Fit for taking India a step closer to secure GDP and an economy. He said, I quote, thank you, Jai Hind.
Please continue. Be confident enough. Don't want to speak? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Token number 12. Are you ready? Token number 13.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Please. Yes, you are visible and audible. Please start.
thank you, ma'am. Coronavirus has made us realize that the local markets and local manufacturing are powerful tools to grow economy. Let's not forget that all the global brands were also local at some point of time. They became global from local due to their pride in their products. Hence, we need to buy local products and also have pride in them. Every Indian must be vocal for local to improve our country's economy. Awesome words from our Honorable Prime Minister. A warm and pleasant morning to every single individual present here. Today, I am privileged to share my views on the new hashtag floating around in our imagination of a modern and national life of business and commerce in India, vocal for local. I strongly feel it is the best form of advertisement. India, therefore, has an all-new hashtag in the era of COVID. Go local, trust local. Go for a self-sufficient and self-reliant India. Let's make in India and believe in Made in India. On May 13, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the nation amidst the coronavirus pandemic and the resulting lockdown. When the entire world was gasping for air, PM Modi delivered a potent speech in which he announced an rupees 20 lakh crore economic stimulus package and the vision for a self-sufficient or Atmanirbhar India. However, the idea behind this movement is not new. It finds its roots in the Swadeshi movement during the Indian independence struggle in 1905. If this coronavirus taught us anything, it is this. We need to make sure that we can meet our own demands for products. The idea of vocal for local is to create more local brands and take them to the global arena. With the Prime Minister's vocal for local clarion call,
The idea of this movement is to create India a $5 trillion economy by 2025. The campaign Be Indian, Buy Indian will encourage the citizens to look for Made in India tags just as they check manufacturing dates and MRP before buying any product. This simple principle, if followed, will help the country to be self-reliant and be self-sufficient. With our Honorable Prime Minister encouraging us to be vocal about local brands, it is important for us to understand every minute step required to push the local brands to the global level. Our Honorable Prime Minister has also tweeted that being local is not merely a need, but it's a responsibility. Let the independents just take a shot at it. These locals will show the globals. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, token number 13. That was a nice performance. Now it's the turn of token number 14.
Honorable Prime Minister said, shop local, eat local, spend local, enjoy local. It takes you to start the trend. Vocal for local, we came across two words, vocal and local, which means raise your voice in support of local. Let's first understand what this movement means. Vocal for local is a very major part in making Atmanirbhar Bharat. In today's generation, we buy a variety of products from stores, online platforms, etc. The only thing that interests us are the price, quality, availability. But at the same time, we forget the country of origin of the product. The concept why it is introduced is to create more local brands and help them achieve a global platform. Vocal for local is nothing but an extension of Swadeshi movement that Mahatma Gandhi struggled for. The lockdown due to the outbreak of COVID-19 had a great impact on India's economy. Many people lost their jobs, some are not getting their wages properly, but above all, our local shops are facing a lot. To solve this problem, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi have announced a 20 lakh crore economic package to revive India's economy. The results of vocal for local will be very beneficial for our country because this will not only help the local shops but also benefit our economy, help in empowering the poor and increase the employment rate. And above all, this will make our India self-dependent, which means India will not need to depend on any other country. Do you know that India is the largest producer of generic medicine, but more than 70% of the raw materials are imported from China? During the coronavirus crisis, China suddenly increased the prices of these raw materials and India suffered. Only if India was self-dependent earlier, we would not have suffered this much. Not only raw materials for medicine, but also import of other subsidized Chinese goods, such as toys, put several local industries out of business and made people dependent on the government, instead of encouraging them to become valuable contributors to the society. We should appreciate our local products, which means we should prefer to buy products which are made in India than in other countries. If we don't do this, then our local products will not get any opportunities to improve and do better because there will be no encouragement. In the independence speech, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that vocal for local should be the mindset of free India, and the country needs to discourage imports from foreign countries because this will affect the creativity and capability of local innovators. In the past, the only reason to buy foreign products was the limited presence of Indian brands. But now there are a lot of Indian brands and they have developed over years. More than 60% of food brands in the food industries are total local. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy local products. And it's the same thing. Remember, every product we buy contribute to our economy and prepare India for the tough competition in the global supply chain. And we, being the responsible citizens, have the duty for the implement and betterment of our country. I stand with our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi in this campaign, and I request you all to stand with him. The term vocal for local is introduced now, but the process has begun days earlier, since the day when the first satellite developed in India was carried on a bullock cart to the launch station. Let's get all united and share the words together, buy local and say bye-bye to foreign goods. Thank you.
Thank you, token number 14. It was a nice presentation. Now it is the turn of token number 15. Token number 15, please get ready.
Ma'am.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you may start now.
Honorable Chief Guest of the occasion, distinguished jury members, esteemed teachers, and all my dear brothers and sisters. A very warm and cheerful morning to one and all gathered here in this August platform of Spandan 2020 English Elocution. I will take this splendid opportunity to throw some light on the burning issue of the day. Vocal for local is the best form of advertisement. So here, let me step into the threshold. Thus, on May 13, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the nation amidst the coronavirus pandemic and the resulting lockdown. When the entire world was gasping for air, Prime Minister Narendra Modi delivered a potent speech during which he announced and raised 20 lakh crore economic stimulus package and a vision for self-sufficient or Atmanirbhar Bharat. Every Indian must become vocal for local, said Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Why India needs to be vocal for local? Vocal for local has become the latest trending slogan which has emerged during the COVID-19 pandemic. The main idea of the scheme is to promote local industries and to consume local wherever possible so that the long-term effects of a demand can be used to develop the domestic industries and gradually make them self-reliant. This will help in the manufacturing, this will help in the scale up of productions and eventually make India a manufacturing center for the world. Global integration and promotion of international trade has taught us the advantages of division of labors. Instead of producing everything you require, if instead you focus on a few commodities, your expertise in that commodity will increase several fold. Vocal for local gives unequivocal importance to the small scale kirana stores. This movement can also be seen as an impetus to reawaken demand and hence to throw a lifeline to the small and marginal domestic companies that are struggling to survive in the wake of the pandemic. In the last 70 years, we have not trusted our indigenous industries, resources, entrepreneurs. We have not trusted ourselves. When we failed to have the development in the public sector, we took the route of globalization after 1991. Monopolization and capturing markets were the priority. The growth that happened was jobless, faceless, and ruthless. By allowing the import of subsidized Chinese goods, we invited economic inequalities within our own border and put several industries out of business. Vocal for local can also be seen as an impetus to reawaken demand and hence to throw a lifeline to the small and marginal domestic industries. If the demand shifts in the favor of domestic companies, then the advantage is threefold. First, it will reduce the dependence on foreign countries. Second, it will give a fighting chance to the domestic companies to survive through the crisis period. Third, it will fit in with the economic backlash against China and emerge India as the new manufacturing center for the world. For example, a local shop vendor is offering a bicycle manufactured in India. Being a prudent customer, you also check the available cheaper options from Amazon. Now, would you choose? Would you choose locally produced, more expensive one, or one from Amazon? That is the mindset of the people, and our honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi has changed this mindset of the people. Let me give you some raw data. Footwears. India is paying 2,500 crores for the chappal we wear. Toys. India is paying 2,700 crores for the toys the children play with. Furnitures. India is paying 6,200 crores for the furniture we use in our daily life. Necessity is the mother of invention. But in this case, we can say scarcity is the mother of invention. In this tough times, when jobs are hard to come by, it is necessary to adapt to the crisis by creating new jobs through new innovative methods. Apart from that, to make sure the vocal for local movement doesn't lose its steams after the pandemic ends, we also require some specific guidelines and initiatives from the government. But this movement needs to be sustained for long terms. Before signing off, I thank one and all for lending me a kind and patient hearing. Good day, everyone.
Thank you. Token number 15. That was a nice presentation. Now it's the turn of token number 16.
Ma'am, am I audible and visible?
Yes, you're audible. Yes, you're visible also. Yes, audible as well as visible. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Please go on.
Tata, Mahindra, Lakme, Godrej, State Bank of India, Louis Philippe, Cafe Coffee Day. Is there a commonality here? Well, these are some Indian brands which are famous globally. Aren't our indigenous companies good enough to take on the might of global giants? Keep chewing on this as we embark on a journey of analyzing the topic for elocution. Vocal for local is the best form of advertisement. A very refreshing good morning to our judges, our regional officer Shri Ellen Pradhan, the wonderful galaxy of principals and teachers, my worthy co-participants, and all my friends watching this show. It's a huge honor to speak in front of you, even though it's a virtual platform. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought about hardships on an unprecedented scale. Normal life has been thrown out of gear, economies have been crippled, and education has taken a beating. However, the pandemic has served as an eye-opener. It said, don't let a crisis go waste, and that is exactly what the Indian government has done. The vocal for local phrase draws its origin from a compelling and persuasive speech of PM Narendra Modi, in which he strongly advocated the necessity of realizing the importance of local productions, markets, and supply systems. He also proclaimed a rupees 20 lakh crore economic booster designed to bring about self-sufficiency of an Atmanirbhar India. The vocal for local slogan might be a recent coinage, but the proposition has its roots in Mahatma Gandhi's Swadeshi movement, which aimed at inculcating a spirit of nationalistic pride amongst Indians. But with the economic liberalization in the early 1990s, foreign direct investment found support and Swadeshi was pushed to the background. This led to a number of options in goods and services, which indirectly stifled India's homegrown industry. The Gandhian legacy of self-reliance assumes greater relevance in this testing COVID time. It took a health calamity to make us realize the hidden flaws in this globally integrated world of international trade and commerce. Having said that, there does exist a lot of merit in global integration with its emphasis on division of labor, specialization in manufacturing of a few select commodities, and the creation and promotion of global supply chains. On the other hand, every region should be capable of satisfying the demands for elementary necessities. It is also important that we have substitutes to prevent a chaotic situation in the event of a global supply chain collapse. The Vocal for Local initiative takes forward the Make in India movement. The idea aims at the promotion of domestic industries and the consumption of local goods wherever possible. The broader vision is to make India a manufacturing hub. Measures like basic infrastructure development, policy implementation, incentives for startups, reduction of bureaucratic control, and the end of red tapeism will go a long way in making this great nation self-reliant, vibrant, and prosperous. It's high time we realize the value and quality of our local products and with pride and confidence advertise to the whole world that our local goods can and will stand up to the toughest global competition. Before I sign off, I would appeal to you to buy local and be very, very vocal about it. Thank you.
That was a beautiful presentation, token number 16. Thank you. Now it's the turn of token number 17. Token number 17, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Visible, ma'am?
Yes, you're visible.
Shall I start?
Please start.
Different, just do it. Life is good. Good food, good life. I'm loving it. All these are the famous taglines of international brands to advertise their products. But today, my tagline is vocal for local. Esteemed jury member and worthy participant, today I stand here to allocate on the topic vocal for local is the best form of advertising. And yeah, I do believe it. Let's see what's vocal for local. On 12th May 2020, in Mann Ki Baat, our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi coined the phrase vocal for local to emphasize on the local manufacturing and supply chain amid the COVID-19 outbreak. He emphasized on not only buying the local product, but also promoting it proudly. By this tagline, he instilled a puff of patriotism into the heart, mind, and soul of every Indian. By this tagline, he made us wake up by the visionaries to make India Atmanirbhar in the years to come. It is a concept which dated back in the era of Swadeshi movement in 1905. Vocal for local is the best form of advertisement because here the real consumers will be endorsing the value and quality of the product by using them practically. Whereas the because they are highly paid for that. In Vocal for Local campaign, the responsible citizens will stand for the product not for money, but for the love and respect they have for their nation and their countrymen. Secondly, the quality of the product will speak for it, not the luring and fascinating style of the celebrity. No film star, no cricketer, no exaggeration, no false promises. Only the common people will be vocal about the product. I'm sure you all have heard the slogan of Khadi detergent powder. पहले इस्तेमाल करें फिर विश्वास करें will be the befitting call in this respect. This clarion call will definitely change Indian economy into a viable, progressive, and independent one. Growth of local industry, revenue generation, and a quite possible Atmanirbhar Bharat. All these can be achieved when we sincerely and wholeheartedly practice vocal for local. The small company who produce local products by the support of local people can one day climb to the top rung of the ladder. The Haldiram is a classic example in this respect. In the time of pandemic, when our IITians came up with a low-cost ventilator, we became the second largest supplier of PPE kit in the globe. This proves that we Indians are capable of doing anything. Then, if we support our product, I am 100% certain that we will be self-reliant, self-sufficient. Then it will be the best tribute to the hashtag vocal for local, which can be spread by the feeling of patriotism into the heart of every citizen. Ask what not your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. With this hope, I remain here. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, token number 17. That was a wonderful performance. Now, token number 18, please get ready for the presentation.
Ma'am, am I audible and visible?
Yes, you're audible and visible too. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you may start.
Good morning, Julie. I am standing before you to say on the topic, the vocal for local, the best form of advertisement. Friends, it's a great challenge for all of us in pandemic situation. It's a high time to feel the gravity of situation and do needful work. Simultaneously, the package intended to kickstart a process toward making India self-reliant. Besides the financial stimulus, the Prime Minister spoke about the importance of India as a whole local market and how India has potential to take its local products global. As a part of the speech, the Prime Minister emphasized the need for India to recognize the importance of local manufacturing, local markets, and local supply chains. He said, COVID-19 taught India the importance of being local. He said, all our demands during crisis were made on locally. Now it is time to be vocal about local products and help them to be global. The Prime Minister felt that leading products of the world were once local products. They became global products when local people started buying and using them. They branded them and then felt proud of them and started promoting them. The Prime Minister said that the world has appreciated India's production of life-saving drugs and how and this should make all Indians proud. The Prime Minister recalled the response of people when he had given a call for them to buy khadi to support the handloom workers. He said people responded well, judging by the record level of sales achieved by the khadi and handloom products. The Prime Minister rightly feels that if India adopts the vocal ke liye local mantra, then many India's products can be truly global. So let's do our part in buying and promoting local products and make India self-reliant. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you. Token number 18.